Is new school yet? What do you think?
My name is EP, and we are super excited to have you guys joining us today for the Cyvatar launch party. I got to tell you, I ain't gonna lie, we've got one epic show lined up for you guys here today. The beats are bumping, and it is time to get jumping. Speaking of jumping, how can you have an epic party without having a Miss Dana T? Ladies and gentlemen, hackers and slackers, allow me to introduce to you your cyber rock star hostess for today's show, Miss Dana Tran. Dana, what is jumping?
Hey, EP, you always know how to do a great introduction. Hi, everybody. My name is Dana Tran. I am so thrilled to be today's co-host on Cybertar's launch party. I can't wait to start rolling out some big news and announcements, Cybertar style.
And we do have some exciting news for everyone to grab a hold of today. Dana, I got a pop question for you. Ready? Well, here we go. What does Netflix, Spotify, Dollar Shave Club, Carvana, and Cyvatar all have in common? And I'll give you one hint. The first letter of the word I'm looking for is the first letter of your name, if that helps.
Okay, well, there's no hints needed here, EP. All these companies are legendary, and they're disruptors.
That's right. That is the key word right there, disruptors. You got that one 100%. Ding, ding. Each of these companies took huge risks to change a traditional business model. So all these disruptors took this leap of faith. And today we're talking about jumping. All those companies, they took the jump. So today we celebrate the action of taking a risk in an effort to change our traditional cybersecurity business model. It's time for change. Like many of you, Cyvatar has identified that security as a whole, it's broken. Our customers just absolutely deserve better. Why does cybersecurity thrive off of FUD, chaos, and tradition? I'm here to tell you that business owners, founders, people that own security for their organization, they are fed up. Dana, there's over 4,500 vendors in our cybersecurity space. That's 4,500. Think about that for a second. And they're all tugging and poking and DMing and emailing and texting and calling. And some of them are even probably
Snapping.
think of it, snapping, right? It's no wonder why. Okay, Danny, do you remember the movie Toy Story with Buzz Lightyear? And he's got the claw, and he's being dropped into that pit of all the green little aliens. But Buzz Lightyear is like our customers. No! Right? It's like they're coming after me again. So listen, Cyvatar is celebrating our launch to become the first cybersecurity as a service company for an all-in-one subscription service that's focused on getting outcomes for our customers.
And that's just right, EP. That's why I made the jump to Cyvatar. I wanted to focus on getting an outcome for our customers. And speaking of outcomes, I looked at the guest list and I'm super excited to get jumping. Check it out, everyone. We have a movie producer, an actor, New York Times bestseller, author of the book Jump, and the TV game show host of the legendary Family Feud, Mr. $1 Million Smile himself, Steve Harvey.
Wait to have Steve coming out. That is.
I've always been a fan.
And by the way, Dana, so glad to have you on board the team here at Cyvatar. Very, very cool.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
So cool, right? So, well, guess what? The coolest factor doesn't stop there, because after Steve, we got another great guest coming out I got to talk about. This is the man with the plan. Like when this guy talks, people listen. He's very unique in his delivery, very unique philosophy, gets really deep, but you just kind of are magnetized to what this guy's got. He's a co-author of a book. He's a corporate trainer. His book has actually sold almost 500,000 copies. Check it out, look it up. We're talking about one guy here in the Cyvatar Lounge, super excited to have, and that would be Mr. David Mead.
Ooh, David Mead. I can't wait to hear him speak. But also, I can't wait for someone else to be joining us in the Purple Rope today here behind in the Cybertar Lounge. this is the one man that I think could successfully pull off the color purple in any shade. He's arguably one of the most connected individuals in cybersecurity, literally on this planet. And I'm talking about our Chief Experience Officer of Cyvatar, Mr. Corey White.
Woohoo! Hey, Dana, what color scarf you think he's going to be wearing today? We should actually probably just do a poll right now, what the color scarf he's going to have. And we could, no scarf, purple, blue, red. What do you think?
My money's on purple. Purple scarf.
All right. Not bad.
Purple accent probably somewhere.
Got it. Well, listen, you can't have one C, Corey, without the other C to have CC Music Factory. So let me talk about the next guest that we're going to have coming out into the lounge today. Listen, if Eon Productions is out there trying to still recruit him to be the next James Bond, not going to happen. Want to know why? Because we got him. That's right. He is the co-founder of Cyvatar. He is our Chief Product and Strategy Officer. He is the most interesting and smartest man in England. And we got him here today, Mr. Craig Goodwin.
That's like the Coachella lineup of cybersecurity right here. But let's not talk about it. Let's be about it. And I want to get us jumping in. Down below on your screen, I want you guys to click the reaction button. Give me a thumbs up if you've ever watched any of Steve Harvey's jump videos or read his amazing book. If you haven't, go check those out. Either way, we are in for a special treat. I have the pleasure of introducing to you Mr. Steve Harvey.
This is Steve Harvey, and this is for all the party people. This is coming to you from Cyvatar. And listen, always remember, like I've always said, to continue to jump, tap into your true potential. You got to jump off that cliff, man. You got to take that leap, and sometimes your parachute don't open, and sometimes you get cut up on them rocks, like I've always said. But once you jump, everything is possible after this. So Cyvatar is not playing it safe. To protect your data, Cyvatar jumps and keeps on jumping and will continue to jump. We just jump. We're in the air, man. Congratulations, everybody.
All right, and with that, how about we jump back into a little bit more music? Yeah, let's do it. Check it in just a second. Get those requests right there in the chat box, and also a round of applause for that opening speech right there, yeah? Come on, say it with me. We can do it back.
Who sell out in the stores? You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who Jews got blocked, who's mostly Gucci down to the Jews drop. The same old pimp, Mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee a million sales, double up.
Come on.
You don't believe the Harlem world, double up. Around this a bet, lay it down. Cause they didn't know me 91, bet they know me now. I'm the young Harlem with the Goldie sound. Can't no PD, just hold me down. Cooler, school me to the game, now I know my duty. Stay humble, stay low, blow like Woody. True pimp, spin no dough on the booty. Yeah, there go Mace, there go your cutie.
Had to play a little ditty for Corey out there. Shout out to Corey. What's up, sir?
I call all the shots, rip all the spots, rock all the rocks, cop all the drops. I know you think I'm now when all the stops. You never home, gotta call me on the yacht.
Excellent, excellent. All right, cool. Just a little quick DJ set right there. We're gonna bring the host back up. One more round of applause. Give it up for EP and Dana.
All right,
How cool was that, Dana? Right? Steve Harvey, he is the man. Hey, Dana, what are you sipping on over there?
Well, I'm not sipping EP. I made the jump. I'm shooting.
I love it. Love it. Spoken better than nobody else. Getting that right out of Steve. I'll tell you what, motivating. His book, the videos, guys, if you thought that clip was great, just you gotta go out and read his book. It's fantastic. So I would have actually guessed, Danny, you were probably sipping on a pomegranate martini, but hey, shooting is a good, and taking the jump, that's what it's all about, right? Well, listen, I mean, between you, me, Corey, Craig, and I mean, Aileen and Dave and Stephanie, and the list goes on.
Rock stars.
Cyberstars.
Cyberstars. Yes.
I mean, I look forward to 21. We're starting early. We're getting the party started early because we're announcing so many things here. That's right. Dana and I are going to be doing a video podcast behind the purple rope in the Cyvatar Lounge. And we're going to have cybersecurity professionals. We're going to have owners. We're going to have founders. We're going to have people that I want them to get their story out. And we're going to tie all things to what they're doing, to the disruptions that they're doing in their marketplace, frustrations that they've had that they've overcome. We're going to tie security into that. There's lots to be to talk about when it comes to protecting their people, protecting the data, protecting their brand. And you know what? We're going to do a lot of talking here. All right, Dana, we got to keep moving. Let's keep this party rocking. And it's time for the next episode. And we are moving on to our next guest. Our next guest, I talked about him earlier at the top, motivational speaker, another one, just another style. This guy has co-authored a book, almost 500,000 copies, bestseller, fantastic motivational speaker, corporate trainer. Man, when he talks, there's like this magnet where you want to go on that destination with him. He's fantastic. Nobody better that we could have here than this guy, right alongside the other top line guests that we have. And I'm talking about Mr. David Mead.
Welcome, David.
Thanks, EP and Dana. And hi, everyone. I'm excited to share a couple of thoughts with you today. There's a feeling all of us have felt at some point in our life, and perhaps particularly over the last few months. It can be paralyzing. It's contagious, and it causes us to keep a death grip on the edge of the cliff of life. That feeling is fear. We've all experienced it in some form or other. For some of us, that fear has been extreme, to the point that we feared for our lives. On Christmas Eve, 1998, I was driving back to my apartment after spending the evening with my mom at the house where I grew up. It was late. I was one of the only people out on the freeway. It was a freezing cold, cloudless night. All of a sudden, at about 70 miles an hour, my SUV hit black ice and began a slow spin. Now, I get it that many of you have probably experienced something much more terrifying, but for me, that was one of the more fear-filled moments of my life. There was nothing I could do. I had no control. Eventually, I crashed into the concrete wall that divides the freeway and came to a stop, luckily with no injuries. Obviously, fear washes through us when we feel our life is in danger. In that moment, we become focused on ourselves. No one else matters. Self-preservation kicks in. And of course, that can often be really useful. It's the freeze, fight, or flight mechanism, and it's designed to save our life. But fear also kicks in when our life isn't threatened. That fear can be a fear of loss of something that's really important to us, loss of our reputation, loss of our status, or loss of our livelihood. It could also be the fear of trying something new with our business, the fear of taking a leap into the relative unknown by doing something no one has ever tried. We put a lot of time, energy, and resources into it, not to mention having others rely on us for an income at the same time, all while not knowing for sure that it will work. Now, thanks to the fact that our brains process everything in terms of life or death, our natural reaction to these non-life-threatening situations can actually mirror the instinct we have in a life-threatening situation. We can quickly find ourselves closing down, focusing on ourselves and our own survival as we try to protect what's important to us. The fear of loss can quickly be accompanied by other feelings too, like anger, frustration, or looking for someone or something to blame. When we're gripped by fear, our attitude to risk changes too. Instead of seeing the opportunity to soar through the air, to build on Steve Harvey's analogy, we only see the sharp rocks on the cliff below. Instead of seeing new possibility, we're more likely to only see scarcity as we try to hold on to what we already have at all costs. In business, that often looks like protecting market share or the bottom line. At one extreme of fear, we might become filled with self-doubt. At the other extreme, some of us might find ourselves being driven by ego as we kick against the problem and anyone we see is standing in our way. However fear shows up in these situations, it comes down to one thing. It's about self first. After all, the word ego is Latin for I. And here's the problem. When leading through a crisis, a major challenge, or a new venture, if we allow ourselves to be driven by any form of fear, it's neither sustainable nor empowering. Trust quickly evaporates. We stop caring for our people. We focus more and more on the numbers. Stress goes up. We induce fear in others. Innovation and engagement suffer as those around us start to close down too. We can even cause a sense of paralysis as those on our team begin to focus on their own survival rather than supporting one another. Ultimately, in these situations, fear holds us back. It actually gets in our way. So what can we do about it? After all, experiencing fear is human nature. It's totally understandable. In this context, we need to start by recognizing fear for what it is. It's a warning. My dear friend Peter was a pilot in the British Royal Air Force for 25 years. In a conversation with him a while back, he mentioned that as a pilot, when you have an engine fire in a large aircraft, an absurdly loud bell goes off and a big red light flashes in your face. And if you let that continue, you literally can't hear yourself think. So the first thing they do as pilots is turn off the bell. Essentially, they turn off the fear. The bell has done its job. They know there's a fire. Like the engine fire bell, recognizing fear as just a warning allows us to acknowledge the danger and gives us the opportunity to choose to harness something even more powerful than fear itself. Something that will propel us forward rather than hold us back. And importantly, something that will carry our team forward with us too. This brings me to another powerful feeling we've all felt at some point in our lives. Love. Now, many of us might shy away from talking about love in a business context. It's a little hippy-dippy for some. I get it. As a quick aside, in 2018, Corey, Cyvatar's CEO, invited me to give a presentation for a company where he was working at the time. And I distinctly remember him talking about love in his opening remarks. That has stayed with me and actually encouraged me to talk about it, especially in a business context. After all, we're all human and love is a huge driver for us no matter where we are. So for those of you who still struggle using that word at work, let's get out of our preconceptions a little bit and broaden what we mean by love. When we're driven by love, it means that we're driven by something greater than ourselves. It's about lifting others up, not about lifting ourselves up. It's about seeing possibility rather than scarcity. It's a stand for something rather than a position against something. It's about leading with humble confidence rather than with ego. It's sort of like a bus with love on one side and fear on the other. At any given time and in any given situation, the drivers of fear and love are trying to jump into the driver's seat. We always have a choice which one takes control. We can let fear grab hold of the wheel, or we can choose to get love in there instead. I happen to believe that we're all born with a capacity for love. In fact, it's our default. A newborn child is extremely vulnerable and instinctively puts its trust and survival in the hands of others. A young child on the playground will naturally embrace other kids, regardless of race, gender, or any other demographic. They see the world as a place of creativity and opportunity without restriction. But interestingly, the society humankind has built is not like that. Ironically, even though we're all born with the capacity to be driven by love, the world we've created is one where fear frequently takes the lead. In many common situations, the world has normalized fear drivers like scarcity, judgment, and competition. Think about it. At school, we're encouraged to get ahead, to get the best grades, to look a certain way, dress a certain way, and be accepted by the right crowd. In order for us to win, someone else has to lose, or at least that's what we're told. And it continues as we move on to college, competing for a spot at the best school or in the most sought-after program. And that's just the beginning. We graduate, and then we go to work. We compete with others as we go after the best jobs with the best companies, and it doesn't end there. Once we actually get the job, then we're worried about how much our boss likes us, if we're on the list for a promotion, or if we'll even get to keep our jobs when times are tough. In other words, the need to push ahead, often at the expense of others, is ingrained in us by society. This is why it's sometimes so difficult to default back to love. We've been trained to react from a place of fear. Now, the key to all this is the bridge between fear and love. And that bridge is courage. Courage can't exist without fear. Fear is the trigger for courage. But courage can only be sustained through love. Let me explain that and test it out with a couple of examples. On 9/11, when the firefighters and other first responders arrived at the scene and saw the smoke and flames, I have to believe there was some initial reaction of fear. But because of their commitment to saving the lives of others, they allowed that fear to trigger the courage that it took to put their own lives on the line in service of something bigger than themselves. That's love. Now, we all get it when there are dramatic examples like this one, but what does it look like to be driven by love rather than fear as a business leader in times of pressure or crisis? A client of mine recently told me a story of his experience with this. He was an executive at a large software company. When COVID hit, each executive was told they needed to cut $1 million worth of expense from their respective businesses. Now, the implied message was to decide who they were going to lay off. Well, this guy, we'll call him Jeff, decided to take a little different approach. He called an all-hands meeting with all 1,000 of the people in his care. He told them what they were up against and said that all of the leaders in that particular business unit had volunteered to take 1 week unpaid every month for the next 3 months. That made up for a little more than half of the $1 million they needed to save. They'd also spun up a website where anybody who wanted to could sign up to take voluntary unpaid time off or give up some of their PTO to ensure that everyone in the business unit got to keep their jobs. In the end, they were able to exceed their goal of $1 million. That's love. Now, when the CEO heard how Jeff had handled the situation, he called him into his office and berated him for what he had done. The CEO's immediate thought, along with a few of the other executives, was, I hope they're not expecting us to take any unpaid time off too. That's fear. That's not who Jeff is, so he jumped. He resigned from his secure position and is now leading a team at a different company and leading from a place of love. I've jumped several times in my own life. Every single time there was fear. Fear of not being able to provide for my family. Fear of not finding work that would make the difference I wanted to make in the world. Fear of the unknown. What helped me overcome that fear and gave me the courage to go on despite all the bumps along the way was love. Love for my family, love for people, love for what I stand for and what I talk about. Because of that focus on love, almost all of those jumps have taken me higher. When something that's really important to us is on the line, we always have a choice between love and fear. Often that choice is really scary because there's a cliff in front of us. But we can all choose to use that fear as a catalyst for courage to be driven by love. Love of our people, love of what we bring to the world through the work we do, love of our industry. When we do this, we open up more possibility, more solutions, more creativity and innovation, both from ourselves and our team. Now, perception is everything. When we're standing on the edge, we can look down and see all the things that might hurt us. Or we can look up and out and see the possibilities of where we'll fly. One perception is driven by fear, the other is driven by love. And love triumphs over fear, hands down, every time. It's simply a choice.
Awesome. I mean, is that great or what? Listen, I love the part, Dana, when he's talking about, the two buses. You got bus over here, which is love, bus over here, which is fear. When he started talking about the bridge of courage, and so know what he's talking about. It's like you're over there in the fear, and you have to have that mechanism to say, you know what? I'm taking this bridge over. I'm going back over here because that's where I need. In fact, we could kind of weave in taking the jump on the bridge to get over back to love, right? Just awesome. In fact, highly recommend that you guys all go out and watch that. How'd you like it, Dana?
That's actually a video I would probably want to rewatch and get a deeper understanding of who I am connected to this video. It's something I need to watch maybe 5 more times. And
Yeah.
I need to work on that bridge too as well.
Yeah. Like anytime you're like just kind of in a rut or a slump or just like need some motivation.
I'm feeling very motivated right now. How about
Good.
you?
You should be. You know why? You're behind the purple rope. You're in the lounge, the Cyvatar lounge. All right. We are ready for some more music. CC Music Factory. I'm talking Corey and Craig. Are you guys ready for this? Dana, welcome to tonight's main event. We have been waiting for this. This is the announcement. Yeah, I've just been talking. Dana's just been talking. Guys, it's time to start walking. And right now, I want to introduce to you the 2 fearless leaders that we have here at Cyvatar, the 2 co-founders. They're going to bring to you one big announcement that we're very excited for. I'm talking about Corey White and Craig Goodman.
Hey, thanks, Evie and Dana. This is freaking awesome. I'm loving this. Launch party, Cyvatar, everything. I can't confirm or deny, Corey, that I turned down James Bond to be here, but I'll take it, right? This is more incredible than a James Bond launch. I'm freaking loving this. From David Mead to our fantastic hosts, Dana and EP, I'm loving this hour. How about you?
I'm fantastic. I actually had to do something really crazy. I had to dig through my closet and find a scar. I hadn't worn one in so long. It's like that. They've been retired, COVID retired scars. Don't leave the house, and I had to dig through and find one. I'm actually amazed. Dana, remember, that purple one that you have? Well, of course, I'm wearing a purple scar. Be in the purple lounge and here launching our amazing solution that I will not tell right now. I'll let you kind of tease into that.
Well, and I don't think we could make it any more purple today, right? Everything is freaking purple. And I tell you, for one, what it takes me back to. It takes me back to that afternoon in the Thirsty Bear at RSA in February. Like, I was sat there, right? And just to tell the story a little bit, like typical English guy in the pub. It was getting towards the end of RSA. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't up for a very professional business meeting at that point, but I was blessed, absolutely blessed to have Corey rock up. I think, he might correct me here, but I'm pretty sure he had his purple scarf on at that point as well. We sat down, we had a beer, we talked about everything that was broken in the cybersecurity industry, and our minds just met. You know, we'd known each other for a while, but at that moment in that Thirsty Bear in San Francisco, it just came together. Like, it seemed like we knew what we wanted to do. It seemed like we understood how to change the industry. And I went away from that meeting, and I know Corey did as well, you know, thinking that we'd found something, thinking that we had the right way of going about transforming not just how vendors deliver cybersecurity, but how customers get it as well. And, you know, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months on, wherever we are now, I've lost track, it's so crazy. We've built something that is truly incredible. And this is just the first steps in a long, long journey to really transforming the way that cybersecurity is delivered to the industry.
You know, Craig, what you are describing is really the definition of synchronicity. And what I focus on in life at this point is when I see it, when I feel it, I'm thinking to myself, damn it, this is it. This is it. And I was like, it's too good to be true. It's just too good to be true. How can I have created what I've created so far with Cyvatar? And then I looked at what you presented on your deck and what you wanted to create. I'm like, how does this not fit so perfectly? That is what synchronicity is, and it happens, and we all got to be better at recognizing it and just living and flowing with it. And that's what we've done. And I'm so grateful to be here where we're at right now. Geez, wow, it's almost a year later.
It's incredible, right? And you heard David Mead talk, like we've heard Steve Harvey talk about jumping, and if there's never, ever a bigger example of jumping, it's me from my filming of that next James Bond. I'm kidding. My CISO role, right? Into revolutionizing things. You from one of the biggest vendor organizations in the cybersecurity industry, me from end user CISO roles, and just bringing those two things together. And I'll tell you what really resonates with me when I listen to David. David pointed out that you've given him that inspiration for love, and it sounds really cheesy, particularly coming from an Englishman, but you can feel the love at Cybertar, and I don't mean your traditional love like David said in his talk. I mean the love for what we're trying to build here, the love for what we're trying to change, and the whole Cy family, those cyber stars that EP related to earlier. They're all changing it. They're all here because they want to do something different. And we're all here to really fundamentally do things differently. And you just feel that in every Zoom call, in every partner meeting, in every customer interaction, that we're doing something really, really different here.
Yeah, you know what? I can't even do this conversation without referencing Prince. So I was listening to you talk, and Prince has this song, it's underground. I don't think they've even released it yet, but I was able to get it back in the Napster days when you can just download stuff. Anyway, it's called Love or Money. And it's comparing which one do you want, love or money. And I've always kind of thought of it as either one or the other. But yeah, in the last few years, I really think of everything as you can have both. Because leading with love, building a company with love, treating your customers like you love them, you want to make sure they get value and outcomes out of what you provide to them, as opposed to just selling them something and then walking away and just saying good luck. Yeah, I love will turn into money for our customers, for our business, for all of us. Those two are tied together. There's no longer one or the other. We're going to go change the world and actually get both. And I'm so excited about the opportunity to create that.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, without further ado, because I know it's what everyone's here for. It's not Steve Harvey. It definitely wasn't David Mead. Like it's Cyvatar that everyone's here for. So let's dive in. Let's talk a little bit about what we've created, right? And number one, and this isn't even an official announcement, but number one today is we're announcing the launch of our brand new homepage on our website. And it looks incredible. Like if you haven't looked at it yet, go do it now, because it is simply the most beautiful homepage I've ever seen. I mean, I don't know about you, Corey, but it's definitely the most beautiful homepage I've ever seen.
I'm right there with you. And I love what our team has done to really innovate it and bring cybersecurity as a service to life. Because as I started researching, we both looked into like, where does this exist? We've had many conversations. It really doesn't exist out there. And is what the industry needs, is what we all need to actually get real value and outcomes out of our cybersecurity needs. So I'm super excited to see that come to life even more with the website.
Absolutely. If you navigate straight from that homepage, you can click through Try It or click through Cyber Checkup, and you'll get direct into our Cyber Checkup module. Now, what this is, Corey, is 10 really quick, easy questions that any SME, SMB can answer, and it will allow you to get a really quick view on what your cybersecurity posture currently looks like. Now, that's revolutionary for the industry. Yeah, we've all seen tons of assessments, right? We've all seen tons of compliance standards out there, but there's nothing that gives an SME or an SMB that is saying to us, I don't know where to start. the ease with which to answer 10 simple questions and get an idea of where to start. So that quick assessment is step number one into our platform, and it's the easiest and quickest way for any SME or SMB to get a view on what their security journey should look like from here on in.
Yeah, for me, I just want to double click on that, and so people can understand, why have we done this? Here's the deal. Between myself and Craig, I mean, we have over 50 years of experience doing assessments and gap analysis and compliance and all these different things. But at the end of the day, we want to figure out what you actually need for your program. And we can map back to any standard. That's easy to do. But the challenge that we've seen out there is that there's so many companies that don't know where to start. And then they go out and they buy some random product and just, hopefully that works for them. Well, I have this crazy concept. I was actually just, yesterday speaking to a sales candidate, a prospect that we may hire. And I told him, I don't believe in selling. And he was like, had this crazy look on his face. And I've had a few people laugh at me when I say that. Let me clarify. I don't believe in trying to convince somebody that they need something that they don't actually need. So what we do here is first, we assess you, figure out where your gaps are. And once we know where your gaps are, that becomes what your recommendations are. And that's using our combined with our whole team, really over 200 years of experience of cybersecurity. That's all gone into our cyber checkup. And so we're able to quickly assess what you actually need. So no longer are you having some VAR or reseller, product company, whoever, just selling you something and you're like, hopefully this fits what I need. We are actually delivering what you need based upon what your gaps are. And that, again, coming from the mind of a former CISO for a very long time, Craig, and bringing all that together. So that's where this value comes in. There's no forcing you to buy something. It's more you getting what you actually need and building that journey to get even further down that cybersecurity path.
Yeah, absolutely. And Corey's teased it perfectly there. So announcement number 2, like when you get through that 10-question assessment, we don't leave you there. We're not a typical consultancy company that comes to you, makes you answer a load of questions, does a load of interviews, and then delivers you a list of things you've got to do. Oh no, what we do is we build you a journey. So you click through that assessment today, you'll be able to fill in those 10 questions really quickly and easily on behalf of your company. You'll then get the opportunity to register for the Clarity platform. Once you've asked those few simple questions on the front end, you'll get straight into your platform. No messing around, no bump, no FUD, you get your journey. And it shows you your roadmap to cybersecurity maturity. So you build that picture, you understand where your business is, you understand what your journey looks like in 10 simple questions. And coming soon, over the next few months, we're going to continue to build on that. So we'll build bigger assessments. As Corey mentioned, we can map to any compliance standard that you want. You can choose your outcome and you'll be able to map the journey to that particular outcome. But for the time being, I'd encourage you all, dive on it, try those questions, register for your company and see what that journey looks like. What do you think, Corey? I mean, this is taking that traditional assessment, 10x in it, making it simpler for the customer and giving you real output from it.
Oh, absolutely. As I listen to you talk again, I'm going back in history and I'm thinking about all the things I hated. And I hated the manual part of it. I've done so many gap analysis and assessments in spreadsheets. And lastly, I've sold so many cybersecurity deals that were just cumbersome. So what is coming in the future is the ability to click and subscribe and add it to your cart and easily consume these solutions all within our platform. You don't need to leave the platform. You'll be able to see, hey, I subscribed to a new solution. And then on top of that, I can see how my cybersecurity score got better. And again, all this is coming from, the mind of Craig and also our CXO council, who's giving input and feeding into making this solution better. We're focused on building a cybersecurity solution, for our cybersecurity customers, by our cybersecurity customers, with our experience and background. That is how we're making the difference for the community and the world.
Yeah, 100%. And it's all encapsulated in the platform. And you can see that today. So if you follow that flow through, you do your 10 questions, you get your roadmap and journey, you can click directly through from any of those journey elements and build your subscription platform and build your subscription direct from that platform online. And that's incredible. Like, this is game changing for the industry. So you can build it there today. You can see what that pricing looks like, and you can reach directly to our sales team to buy that subscription and to build it for your business and get on that path to cybersecurity confidence right now, right here, today. Like, I tell you what, I don't know if it's coming across. I'm probably downplaying it a little bit, but I am super excited by what we're doing here. This doesn't exist anywhere else in the industry, and we're about to change the world, Corey White.
Absolutely. I taking products and services, bringing them together, giving value and outcomes every single time, and then tracking the time to value, how quickly we can get a customer to value is how we are going to change this game. You go ask any competitor or anybody else out there, what's your time to value? How quickly can you get value for what you bought? You can't. They don't even measure it. They don't even care. They're just going to send you some alerts or send you a report, and that's it. We are focused on actually getting our customers value. That's how this game changes.
Massively. Super excited. So listen, thanks everyone for being here. It's been incredible to see you all. The support from friends, family, advisors, just the whole industry has been incredible. And I'm looking forward to that continuing over the coming months, years. Get on cyvatar.ai right now. Try that assessment module out. See what that subscription platform is like, see your journey, register for your business, and then contact us if you've got any questions. We're super excited about what we're building here. What we're going to leave you with is we're going to jump to some of our friends and family. You know, this isn't just about us. It's not even just about Cyvatar. It's a whole industry of people that have come together, whether it's CXO advisors, business advisors, to really change the game in cybersecurity. So you're going to hear now from some of our family, some of our customers, some of our employees, some of our partners, some of our CXO council about how they've taken the jump to cybersecurity as a service, just like me and Corey have. Right, Corey?
Absolutely. I love seeing those because what we've done is we've bridged the gap between internal employees, customers, advisors. They're all the same. There's no longer someone else across the table. We're all on the same side doing this together as a whole cybersecurity family. And so you'll hear that in these jump videos. Thank you guys so for your time today. And we look forward to our next launch party, which is coming soon.
Hi, my name is Alfred Valerio, and much like Steve Harvey, I jump. Many times in my career and personal life, I have made the jump. Those key decisions where, at the end of the day, I had to trust my instinct and move forward by making the jump. One of those key moments was making the jump with Cyvatar. Cyvatar has given me a comprehensive security solution to my company that has kept us secure and become compliant. Looking back, I'm glad I did. There's no way my company would have done the security peace of mind and within a short time frame without Cyvatar security services and excellence. I'm proud to say that Cyvatar is my security partner.
Hey, my name's Aileen, and like Steve Harvey, I've jumped. This year, I co-founded an online community with two friends for cybersecurity marketers to come together to network, learn, and share ideas. We had no funding. We were only putting in our own time, sweat, and effort. We didn't know if anyone would take to liking it or join. And when they joined, we didn't know if anyone would stay. Today, we're over 350 members. We've held our own week-long event, and we hold various different events throughout the month to educate our members and help them be better in their careers. So if you're thinking about taking a jump, just do it. Take the risk. It's always hard at first, but it pays off.
Hi, I'm Jason Harmon, CTO at Stoplight. And I too, like Steve Harvey, have jumped. About 8 years ago, I remember a very distinct event where I signed up to give a talk at a developer conference on how we tested APIs. Super intimidating, overwhelming for a very introverted engineer. That jump that I took led to meeting all these tremendous people in the API community and really building a whole new set of paths in my career, which felt like a constant series of jumps, different roles, different companies, on kind of a journey of, what is it, what do these transformations look like? And I think now, more than ever, the parachute's open bigger than ever, being the CTO at Stoplight. You take that early vision of, how can I share what I know about, building APIs, and the validation and kind of confidence that I built through meeting other people with the same passion.
My name is Stephanie Simpson, and I jumped from a large corporation to Cyvatar within 1 week of meeting everyone because I knew that we were disrupting the security industry.
Hi, I'm Angela, a board advisor with Cyvatar focused in the healthcare industry. Like Steve Harvey, I've jumped. Several years ago, I left a large international IT consulting firm to join a boutique firm focused in cybersecurity. And I'm so glad I did. I was able to take on a much broader leadership role, and I learned a lot more about cybersecurity, which is so important in today's business world.
My name is Dave Cundiff, and I've been Steve Harvey. I've jumped. I was going to school to be a pathologist and had an opportunity to get into information technology and jumped. That led me to the capability to move out to California from Kentucky, moving across country to take a job with a security company. And I jumped.
I made the jump to Cybertar because I wanted to be a part of an organization who truly understands that the customer comes first and that each organization has a different way and a different need to dealing with cybersecurity.
I too have taken the jump like Steve Harvey. 2020 has been a dark year. It's actually overshadowed the crash of 2008. Well, 2008, I was a commodity broker up to that point for 10 years. And I had to survive after the crash. It took me 4 years. And then 2012, it was time for trading places. Well, I jumped over to software sales and landed in cybersecurity. Now I'm ready for another jump. This time it's called Cyvatar. Want to go for a ride? Well, then jump on.
My name is Greg Fitzgerald, and I too am like Steve Harvey. I've made the jump many times. First, when I had a child. I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I didn't know I could be a great father. But you know what? We dove in and made the jump. I got a beautiful daughter. Another time I've been making jumps is in my career. I've been the startup king of many companies. Some have failed, some have been ungodly successful. In particular, one of the biggest jumps is when I went to Silence. In Silence, there was nothing but an idea in a very crowded market. Even my advisor said, "You're crazy for getting into this." But lo and behold, it became one of the most successful endpoint security companies in the world around AI. And most recently, I've made another jump to start another company in a highly competitive cybersecurity market. But like Steve Harvey, you just got to do it. And you put all the time and effort, and success will come.
My name is Brent Fungi, and like Steve Harvey, I've jumped. But I've actually jumped multiple times in both my personal life and my professional life. One of the jumps was back in 2008 when I was the application IT director for a large public buy and build corporation. From 2001 to 2008, we purchased over 30 locations around the world, and I was in charge of implementing our enterprise resource planning software. I had a large support staff working for me, and it was a very high profile and rewarding position. In July of 2008, the owner of the company that I was working for, before we were acquired, asked me to become part of his new privately owned company called Cortex. They had one location and about 30 users. Discussed it with my family, and after a lot of sleepless nights, I decided to make the jump. In September this year, as we were in the middle of 6 different proof of concepts, and just by luck, I contacted Ed Preston about upgrading our antivirus software. He told me about a new venture he was part of called Cybertor. The concept sounded too good to be true, and I was, of course, very skeptical. Over a 1-month period, we were given numerous demos and meetings and finally a proposal. And after a lot of review, and I mean a lot of reviews, I decided to make the jump and become a Cyvatar customer. I can honestly say that we are happy we made the jump. In only 2 short months, we've decreased our overall security vulnerability score by over 16%.
My name is David Lee, and I jumped. Most recent time was December of 2019. With really no solid prospects and a family to provide for, I left a well-known company to strike out on my own. Things were looking pretty promising, And then COVID hit and decimated my industry as I have known it for the last 10 years. I've hit my share of rocks in the last few months, but I feel like my parachute is starting to open.
Everybody, look, today you've heard about how all these people ran to the edge of the cliff and jumped without a net, taking risks that improved their lives in ways that absolutely nothing else could have. Well, it's your turn. Jump confidently with Cyvatar into a new cybersecurity model at Cyvatar AI.
There you have it, guys. How cool is that? Security checkup. Everybody needs to get a security checkup. You got to know what you need to know. 5 minutes, 10 questions to know what you need to know.
Know what you need to know. I like that tagline.
5 minutes, 10 questions, know what you need to know. Know what you need to know. Okay? It's kind of like a little, right?
No.
Know what you need to know. So very, very excited about that. Love the videos. Dana, cool vid, by the way. The whole Cyvatar family. Very cool collage going on. I love that bit.
Yeah, it was a nice reminder of why I made the jump to join this family. And I can't wait to be working with our customers to help them understand their specific company risks and how we can cater to their very unique environment.
Absolutely. Lots of people out there that we can help. If you guys are a founder of a company, you're on a board of a company that needs security, needs something simple, quick, efficient, be managed for them, needs somebody to work alongside them, something that's kind of embedded into what they currently have. If they have nothing, a little bit, even a lot, but there's some gaps, and they've taken the security checkup to find that out, we are here to help. We're here to build that roadmap. Very excited. Guys, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Twitter, and of course, Cyvatar.ai. Go to Cyvatar.ai. That's where you can get the security checkup. And do us a favor, tell a friend, tell somebody. It's kind of like the party, right? We had this party, we go out and we tell people about it. No sense in being quiet about it. 2020 is almost behind us. New Year's Eve is just like 3 weeks away. We're going from 20, we're turning 21, Dana. We're turning 21. You know what that means? Turn 21, what happens? Lots of drinky wink going on at 21. We're going to go right up. And we want you guys to all go straight up with us. I hope you guys all enjoy this. Dana, did you have a good time?
Yes, EP, it was so great co-hosting this launch party with you. I hope everyone's at home being safe and have a great holiday season. And I can't wait for you to join the Cybertar family as well.
Absolutely. Said perfectly. Everybody, happy holidays. Thanks for being with us today. Party like rock stars. We'll see you guys next year.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers. Take us out, DJ. Woohoo.
Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. That's going to be it, party people. As you see in the chat right there. We got more tunes coming your way. The official after party begins right now.